Hi, welcome back to Sim by the Mile. So today we're on the East Coastway route in Train Sim World 5, and we're going to be driving the Class 373 from Eastbourne all the way into Brighton. So this is going to be a journey across Sussex, and what we'll do is we'll be taking a look at the route and hopefully finding some unique sites and challenges along the way. We're just going to get our passages loaded. In terms of stations today, we're going to be stopping at several key stations along the route. This includes Hampden Park, Polegate, Berwick, Glyde, Lewes, Falmere, and then finally arriving in Brighton. So I hope you all stick around for the full journey. Now, in terms of the train, we are driving today. It told me to reopen the doors. So, in terms of the train we're driving today, we're going to be driving the Class 377. The Class 377 is the most popular electric unit on the route, Black Southern Run, and I believe it can reach a max speed of up to 100 miles an hour. We do have a red signal in front of us. There's a train just outside that's also leaving, so we'll wait for him. Even though we are cleared, we will wait for that train to get going before we set off. So it'll be a couple of minutes late. Just wait for that signal to turn red. Let's get our reverser forward and a little bit of power on the accelerator. So this is Eastbourne Station. Eastbourne, if you're not aware or not from the United Kingdom, is a seaside town that's relatively busy on the south coast of England. It has services connecting London to coastal areas, and it's quite scenic around here as well. And I'm sure we'll see some of the beautiful scenery as we leave Eastbourne Station. Just going to add in a little bit of brake as we just wait for this signal that will be being held out to change and give us a red, and we can change from red, and we can finally get out of here. Our next station stop is going to be Hampden Park, which is about just under 2 miles away, and we are due there in a minute though, which we're not going to make if it doesn't give us a signal soon. There we go, we've got yellow now, so we can start getting on with our day. We will probably be late though into Hampden with the timetable. Got to be careful with that service in front of us that we don't end up running any lights. So the East Coastway, this is one of the older Train Sim World routes. I think this came out in the Train Sim World 2 era, and I remember it being very popular at the time. The London to Brighton route, which is now available for Train Sim World. Back then it was only available in Train Sim Classic. A lot of people said that was the best route in Train Sim World, well, in Train Sim Classic at the time. So getting the southern route, I think a lot of people were quite excited for. Quite excited for, and it's a little bit different from the main line as well. Obviously, with the new route hopping features we have now in Train Sim World, we didn't have it back then, and the fact that we do have the Brighton main line, so you can run services from London Victoria into Brighton. There's a lot of chances to do route hopping on this and make use of that feature and go between the old East Coastway that we're on today and the Brighton main line, which again a lot of people say is one of the best routes in Train Sim World. It's a route I don't own. It's something I do need to pick up, the Brighton main line. It's definitely on my wish list of things to pick up. It's not really a priority, so I'm not sure when I'll be getting around to it, but it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. So we do have a red signal next, so we are catching up that train that departed just ahead of us. And then our station's just beyond that. We should have been at the state. We should have really arrived at station 40. I'm going to brake quite heavily here so we don't run the signal. Over a minute ago, we should have arrived at the station, but we're just stuck here in traffic currently. Not much we can do about being late. If there's another service on the route, you can see the train we're following right in front of us down there at the platform. Hopefully we're not stuck behind this service for too much longer. It is what it is. So next station stop is Handon Park. So Handon Park is a little station serving the suburb of Hampden, basically, and it's popular for pretty much commuters going from London, well, going from Eastbourne into Brighton, and that's what it mainly serves. It's only is quite close to Eastbourne. Obviously, we've just done it there. It only takes a couple of minutes to get from the main Eastbourne station down here to Hampden Park, and it's probably, in terms of its busyness for this station, when we get there, whether it be replicated in the game or not, it is one of the most busiest commuter stations. Our pal in front of us does not seem to be moving. Is he stuck? We'll give it another minute here behind the signal and then see if we can. We might have to. He might have got stuck, so we might have to remove him. It might be a broken signal on the route. Obviously, these things do happen. I'll be back in a moment. Oh wait, it looks like he is moving now, so he is going. So we've got our signal here. It should at least get us into the platform, and hopefully it can give us a little bit of time for that train ahead of us to clear off the line. Does unfortunately mean we are going to be running late, and there's not a lot we can do about it now. I was just about thinking he was stuck, going to jump into the route map and remove him, but luckily for us, he decided to get out of the way. Or lucky for him, maybe, as he was about to be deleted out of existence. We have a supermarket or something there, just outside. It kind of looks like a supermarket building. We do have green lights ahead though, so hopefully that's the last time we're going to be stuck behind another train today. We're a 4-car stopping service. Let's try and find. I don't know if it has a 4-car marker here, 2 to 5. Okay, let's get the doors open. Hop outside for a moment while we wait for passengers to get on and off. So this is Polegate. Not Polegate, sorry, Hampden Park. Polegate's our next station stop, I believe. So yeah, we have a little bit of a bus shelter and a nice little overpass bridge there. It's not a bad little looking station. There is a station building as well, so all quite interesting. And a level crossing just ahead of us. Right, passengers are in, so we'll unlock the door. So as I mentioned, Polegate is the next station stop. We are going to be due there just 2 miles, so it's another short little hop over. So Polegate is basically important on the network because it does act as an important junction for services connecting across the East Sussex on there. And Polegate itself is close to the South Downs National Park, which, if you don't know, is a big national park in the UK, and is apparently quite well known and quite popular with walkers, and quite known for having a lot of scenic trails going on there in the village. And it's probably, in terms of the network, very important, as it, you know, does provide a lot of connections to smaller villages. There's a little line going off there to our right. So that's where our friend, who we're following out of Eastbourne, went. Not sure where that line heads off to. Probably further down the coastline, which would be east down the coastline, I believe. I didn't check where the friend who we're following was supposed to be going. But at least he's out of our way now, and we can start making some decent progress towards Brighton. We do have a 35 speed limit coming up, and here's the sign marker for that 35 speed limit. And it's probably 35 because we do have the junction at Polegate just ahead of us. And then the station right after. You can see in the little mini map as we slow down for the 35 speed limit. You get the 90 and then a station coming up, which will be the East Station here. So we're at 35, so we can just kind of cruise. In terms of timing, we're late anyway, so it doesn't matter, because we were stuck behind that service, so I'm not too precious on trying to keep to time. We are going up a little bit of a hill here as well, which is going to help slow us a tiny bit. Here's the start of the 35, and this will be what I believe is the junction it mentioned. Or is this just a really, really tight corner? No, it's just a really, really tight corner. My research did mention a junction, so I don't know where that is, but we'll find out. Maybe my research before I start doing this was wrong. There's a possibility there as well. Coming in a little hot to this station. But we're going to stop pretty much bang on the markers. Again, if we just hop outside in a moment and have a little look around on the outside view, got a couple of station buildings, nice display, bottom 4 coaches, block of flats right next to the station, it looks like. And a row of shops just there as well that look quite old. And a little level crossing, so it's quite a nice station, really. We can lock the doors now and get moving, so let's hop back in the cab. And I believe our next station stop is off to Berwick. So, 3 and a bit miles to get down to Berwick. Well, hopefully we can open the open her up a little bit. So again, Berwick is another one of these small little stations we're going to come across, and it's again primarily serving commuters either going into Brighton or to Eastbourne the other way. Apparently, one of the interesting facts about Berwick is it's supposedly quite good for spotting location as well, as you get the rural commuter train services going through, and also freight trains as well, so it should be quite a good train spotting location. Which, if you haven't watched yet, there are quite a few little train spotting videos on my channel going around stations in Manchester. So far we've done Burnage, we've done Levenshulme. I'm not sure the video's going to be out yet, but we have also done Stockport as well. I'm not sure which one I'm releasing first, but that's either out or coming. And we are going through quite a lot of the different train stations around my local area and getting some good video there. The Stockport video especially, we do manage to capture a freight service on there, which I'm super happy about. So if you've not seen any of the train spotting videos and you do like real life trains as well, go have a watch of that. And again, I believe this station is located near the South Downs and the South Downs National Park that we mentioned before, so another good place to hop off if you're looking to explore, if you're ever down in this part of the world and you're looking to explore the national park. We can probably have a little look at the countryside and then bizarre hills. It's like there's a hill that hasn't loaded in over there. That's really weird. I'm going to look away. I'm going to look at the other side. We're going to hop back into the cab. Let's just ignore there was a bit of a graphical glitch there. So, just a mile and a half now away from our next station stop. And we are stopping at quite a few places along the route today as well. We are dead on 90, so I'm going to take my throttle off. I'm actually going to apply a tiniest bit of brake in, just to keep us from speeding. In fact, I'm going to start bringing those down because we need to get to 75 anyway at the entrance to the station. So, and I don't remember how good the brakes are on this train. Looks like we have a service going back the other way towards Eastbourne. Here's a 75 marker, which we're way below. We're at 30, so we'll just cruise over the platform threshold at 30. Again, it is quite a small little stop. Forecast stop's just here. Going to be pretty much on the marker for the forecast stop. Again, still running late, but that's to be expected. It was fun though, following that service, although a little bit frustrating that we had two services departing at the same time. So we've got 4 miles now to, is it Glenade, is it pronounced? I'm not sure how you pronounce the station. Glindade. That's one thing that's going to happen when the Welsh route comes out, whenever that comes out. I think it's probably going to be next year, looking at the release schedule. But I'm really going to struggle with the pronunciation of any of them Welsh names. There'll be one station I can say, and that's Cardiff. But everything else I'm probably going to butcher, and I definitely won't have many Welsh followers watching any of my content. We do have a whistle board here, so we will take advantage of that. We've probably passed a few whistle boards, really, but we haven't been paying that much attention to it. But yeah, it's good to be on one of the older train sim world routes. A lot of the routes I've done recently on video is I've done the couple of videos on the West Coast Main Line, one in the Pendolino, one in the 350, and then also we've done the San Bernardino video, which we released, which was fun, the San Bernardino video on there. In terms of older routes, we have done and the East Coast Main Line as well. Let's not forget we did the East Coast Main Line, which is an older route, but that was a Train Sim 4 route, so it's not really old. If you've ever tuned into any of my live streams, and I do live stream as regularly as I can, I have done some videos on there, some of the older routes on there. So on stream we've done Northern Transpennine, we've actually done a Train Sim Classic route in Norfolk Southern Coal and some US freight operations on live stream. And in my last little live stream, we did the Glossop line, which was fun to revisit. And Glossop was my very first video on YouTube. And then after we did that, we hopped over to the East Coast Main Line, but actually was doing some of the Class 66 driving, and some UK freight operations, because we don't really see a lot of them on the UK routes. I don't see a lot of people doing UK freight operations too often in terms of videos when I look at the other YouTubers. So I was like, you know what, we've got time here. We do need to get down because we are about to bust this 80 speed limit. There we go, we hit it fine. We got a little bit of time here, so let's hop on, do some of the freight operations. And Norfolk Southern Coal is just a fun route, to be fair. Trying to haul or control these heavy freight trains that you get in America up and down the mountains in Pennsylvania and the Appalachians. It actually made me want to think about getting the Horseshoe Curve route, because that again is a Norfolk Southern route, and it is again in the Appalachians, and it's quite famous. I think that might be a Train Sim World 3 route. We do have Sandpatch Grade, so I do plan on looking at doing a video on Sandpatch Grade, just because it is the original Train Sim World. When they first made the game, that was the first ever route that came out for the game. I remember buying it as well. I don't know if it was a full release or if it was early access. It's been a long time. But yeah, so we will at some point visit Sandpatch Grade in terms of the American stuff. So here we are at Glenade. So again, this is another rural stop on the East Coast. And it's a historic town. Very small town. It's rural, quite peaceful. Is famous for having summer opera festivals at Glyndebourne, just being a short trip away. Not sure if anyone is a big opera fan, but yeah, there's a big opera festival here apparently. We do have a staggered platform stations as well, which is interesting. But yeah, even on here it looks like a very small rural village. Maybe a quiet place to go live out in the countryside. So the next stop here is Lewes as our next station stop along the route. Now, I know this is where the line splits basically on the East Coastway, because there's two routes you can do. You can do Eastbourne, which is what we're doing today, or you can do is it Seaford? I think the other line is, which is the other commuter hop. Or I think they do some services that stop at Lewes as well. And from what I remember of the route, that's where it kind of splits off. And then you have the Seaford route, or you have the Eastbourne route that we're on at the moment. So there's a couple of different options. Just got an award for the driving this class. So when I installed Train Sim World 5, I started a brand new profile, so that's why I'm getting awards and stuff for you know, having driven so many miles, if you're wondering. And you'll see that on a lot of the routes as well, because it's a brand new. I started basically from scratch in terms of my profile. So we're cruising at the moment. We do have a 70 speed limit coming up, but we're not gonna. Well, I might just get to 70 before we hit it. I think we do need to slow down quite quickly anyway, because there is a junction, if I remember correctly, going into the station. But Lewes Station itself is one of the major stop, probably the biggest stop between the two, Eastbourne and Brighton. And it's quite a historic town. Apparently it has a medieval castle, so an old castle town, and is quite popular, really quite a popular destination with tourists and visiting the castle, and also they're having independent shops as well. Now, another thing it is famous for is its bonfire night celebrations, and if you're from the United Kingdom, the UK, you'll know that's coming up very, very quickly. Bonfire night, 5th of November. Today we are recording, it is the 26th of October, so just a few days until Halloween, and then we have bonfire night as well. And Lewes is has quite a famous for its bonfire celebration, so that's an interesting little fact about the place, if you weren't already aware of that. If anyone who watches the videos from this part of the world, let me know if you've ever been to the bonfire celebrations at Lewes. So we do have a yellow signal and then a red signal coming up as we go through the junction here. We also have to get down to 20 and then a 10 on the speed limit. We might have fallen behind something out another service, so just crawl around. You can hear the tracks screeching as we pull into the station. It's quite an interesting station, this, as well, because we go off to the left here, so we're getting off down to 10. But then the station's kind of splits into two, with this like island platform in the middle. So it's probably, it does seem quite unique in terms of how it's positioned the station and how it's laid out. We do have a red signal, but that's probably because we have this trainer in front of us, which I'm assuming is going to be crossing our path. Hopefully it's hopefully it goes off to the side and we don't end up with a crashing into another service. Yeah, you can see it branching off there, so we will be waiting at the station again for a little while, just while we wait for a clear signal. We can get the doors locked. We have got the green, so we've got the junction now. Doors are locked, so we will continue with our next station stop, which is Falmer. So just 4 miles to go until we get to there. We are speeding a little bit. I forget we're still in a 10 zone. So we'll apply a touch of the brakes. Because there's so many little bits of track here and stuff, and crossovers and junctions and splits into two in terms of the service. Well, as we get out of Lewes and head towards Falmer, another big thing that's been announced just this week is we now know when the West Coast Main Line over Shap is going to be released for Train Sim World, and November is going to be quite a big month really, because we have the delayed MTBA. The MTBA was supposed to be coming out on Tuesday this week, and originally what I was planning for this week was to put out some content related to the Boston commuter and have a look at the original Boston route, which is a route that I own, and do some shorts and stuff on that in preparation for the MTBA to be released. That is still coming down the line. That's been pushed back now to November. November the 11th is when that comes out, and then it's 10 days later, so in very quick turnaround we get the West Coast Main Line over Shap, or Carlisle to Preston, released for Train Sim World 5 as well. So 2 quick releases in very quick order, and if it's going to be released in the next 3 months, which is what it said on the roadmap, probably December. So again, maybe a month later we then get the Manchester commuter line as well. But everyone is going to be, I think a lot of people are very, very excited for getting there. Just from the reactions I've had on my videos covering the dev updates we've had from the Just Trains, I think a lot of people are very excited for that West Coast Main Line route coming out. Myself included, really. I was on Train Sim Classic the other day playing, or just trying to get myself familiar, doing some of the original, doing a run on the original, West Coast Main Line over Shap, and doing one of the scenarios on there, and it was a lot of fun to jump into that. So it's going to be a very busy November coming up in terms of Train Simulator and Train Sim content. And then we also have the new Flight Simulator as well coming out sometime in November. I can't remember what the release date is for that, but the new Flight Sim is not very far off as well. So there's a lot of exciting simulation content coming out very quickly in both the Flight Sim world and the Train Sim world. I've actually reset up I need to test my controllers and stuff, get my controllers working, but I have set up my flight sim gear as well, so that'll be good to maybe hop on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000 and give that a try. I guess that's what we'll call it now, as opposed to just Microsoft Flight Simulator. So there's a lot of big releases coming in very short order, for trains and also for Train Simulator and Flight Simulator. So very exciting. It's a very exciting time, yeah, with upcoming releases. And then there's still the Japanese route as well, with the Tsugami line, which I'm looking forward to. I never realised that because I wasn't playing, I think, Train Sim Classic when it came out, that the Tsugami line was actually originally in Train Sim Classic. So that'd be interesting to maybe pick that up for Train Sim Classic at some point in the future and have a look and just compare the two. You know, get familiar with the line before that comes out, and go over to Japan, because I like Japan. I do have a couple of the original Story of Forest Rail, although I think I got it from Just Train, so I don't think it's installed. I didn't buy it, it wasn't on Steam when I bought it. That was something I got on release. And I do have another Japanese route from the same developer, which I don't even remember buying or playing, but I own it, so I must have bought it at some point. So heading back to Japan is a place I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and, you know, what we get from that. And it's something a little bit different. I do like my UK routes, I do like my American routes. I've always mentioned I'll play them from time to time, but I'm not really big on my German stuff. But we are probably going way too fast here. We might overshoot this. Well, we're at the 6 to 12 car stop because we were too fast entering the station, but that's fine. We're not too bad. We're not exactly where we're supposed to have stopped. How far back are we? No, we're fine. All doors are open. We're pretty much at the edge of the platform, so we're coming in a little hot, but we made it. And if you look in the background, here at Valmere, that's where Brighton Hove Albion play, and this is the station stop. If you were going to one of their games, you'd be getting off or getting on that. So we're obviously on match days, this station itself becomes really, really, really busy. So I think we have one more stop, and then we're coming into Brighton, which is a Musselcombe. Just under 2 miles away, so quick hop over. And then we get into Brighton, and I remember the entrance to Brighton, you have the viaduct, which is always cool to drive over. It looks very impressive in the game. I've never been to Brighton myself, but I bet it's bloody impressive in real life. So that is probably my favourite bit of the route, really, when it comes to the East Coastway, is just kind of going over the viaduct in Brighton, whether it's arriving at Brighton or leaving Brighton. So we are cleared up to 70 here, or will be once we pass the signal, but there's probably not much point in getting to 70 because we do have to stop in a mile. And I think this might be quite a short station as well. I don't think it's the biggest, so I'm going to start bringing our speed down now so we don't go flying through like we almost did at Valmere. But yeah, as always, I'd like to, if you have any particular routes or anything that you'd exciting coming up that you're looking forward to, I always love to hear from you down in the comments below. And I love talking about Train Sim and Train Sim World anyway, so give us some discussions. And drop into the comment section, let me know what what's going on. Or even just the train spotting videos as well, they're always fun. To hear, maybe you go train spotting yourself, maybe there's a particular station you're interested in, seeing services go in and out, so that's always fun to hear from any of the people who watch my content. So, as I said, it's a very small station, this, but just trying to bring us a little bit closer to the stop sign. Had to make sure we got down so we don't overrun that. And then we get to arrive into Brighton. I don't think there's any other stops in between, from what I remember. Pretty sure we are just straight through now. So yeah, here we go. The next station stop is Brighton. So just a mile and a half. Again, quick route over. We are fashionably late, but that's mainly due to that other southern service that we encountered leaving Eastbourne. That happened to depart at the same time as us, and really screwed us over in terms of our timetable. So, as you know from previous journeys, Brighton is probably the biggest station around here. It's a major hub connecting to London and all across the southern network. And Brighton itself is a big seaside town. Big holiday destination. It's known in the UK, or was known in the UK, I'm not sure it still is, but used to be the LGBT capital of the UK. I think they even claimed the LGBT capital of the world on there. And the station itself is built all the way back in the 1840s when the station was built, so it is a very old iron, train station. Iron glass roof. And it's a very impressive looking building, if I'm honest. We do have another little station stop here. We're not stopping at this one. I don't know what station this is. Don't remember what station this is. I'm sure someone in the comment section will let me know. And then this is the impressive viaduct I was talking about. It's 30 across here. And it looks so nice just coming in. You've got the town on the other side of the hill. You've got the houses below on either side, really. Houses basically being built right the way up to the viaduct. And then when we get off the viaduct, we're pretty much into the train station. We are going to be going into platform 5 today. The 20-mile-an-hour zone just here as we join the main line coming in from London. If you're on the London to Brighton route, you'd be coming down that track and coming in that way. We're swapping over to get to the correct platform. Again, lots of junctioning work very complicated around here in terms of the junctioning and getting services to the right place and track switching. But here we are, 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, bringing us down. And you can see what I was mentioning about the iron glass roof and the iron work here, obviously replicated in the simulator. And these old style train stations, they do have their certain charm about them. These old style train stations we have in this country, all Victorian built and, you know, Industrial Revolution era stations. So here we are, we're stopped at Brighton. We'll turn the reverser off, we don't need that on. We'll put our brakes off as well. Let the passengers out. We'll take a little look at the station as we wait for people to leave. And there we have it, an iconic trip from Eastbourne to Brighton on the East Coastway route in Train Sim World 5. It was fun to hop back into the Class 377, and it handled beautifully across these scenic Sussex stations with in-cut outage along the way. If you've enjoyed the journey, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button for more rail adventures, and let me know where we should tackle next in the comments down below. As always though, thank you for riding along with us. For now, goodbye.